Election Day is just 3 weeks away, and there is more on the ballot than the race for the White House and control of the halls of Congress. In Missouri, voters are considering a measure to become the 39th state with legalized sports gambling. And outside the nation's capital in Fairfax County, Virginia, some lawmakers are pushing for a vote next year on whether to build a casino. There is initial opposition over fears of rising crime and lowered real estate costs. Bishop Michael Burbidge of the Diocese of Arlington is issuing words of caution against the push for a casino in his diocese. The Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches that games of chance, such as card games and wagers, are not in themselves contrary to justice. Gambling becomes morally unacceptable, however, when it deprives a person of what is necessary to provide for their needs and those of others. The Catechism adds that a passion for gambling risks becoming an enslavement. And Bishop Michael Burbidge from the Diocese of Arlington, Virginia, joins us now. Your Excellency, great to see you again. Welcome back. As mentioned, the possible vote on a casino in Fairfax County would not come until about 2025 at the earliest. So why are you addressing this topic now? Why is it so important?
Well, I speak as a pastor, Tracy, and whenever we hear the word gambling, we know that there is a need for vigilance. As you correctly stated, as individuals, we always must make sure that gambling does not take us away from providing that which is necessary for ourselves and for others. And we're vigilant because we know that gambling can easily turn into an addiction. It has that power. And so I'm speaking on this issue as a pastor, and having seen, as many of our priests have seen, when this gambling does become addiction, it impacts families. It can impact families in a negative way. And the church becomes the first responder to be able to provide now for the rent or for the basic necessities that have been lost because of this gambling addiction. So the issues surface, and I took this opportunity to speak as a pastor. The church, as you mentioned, with games of chance and things like that, tolerates gambling, betting, but doesn't necessarily endorse it. And so I'm just asking all of us, when we hear about this issue, to be vigilant, not to allow something that should be fun to be enjoyable to become something that is an enslavement. And keeps us from being free. Absolutely.
And it's becoming more and more popular. I mean, we have 38 U.S. states that have already legalized sports gambling, including actually Virginia, which did so in 2021. You talked a little bit more about it, but what have you noticed, or what are you hearing from your brother bishops on this issue?
Well, we all see it as a pastoral problem and the negative impact it can have on family life. You know, Tracy, I'm a sports fan, too. I enjoy sports. I love watching sports. And that's what it should be. It should be enjoyable. But when you are putting money down on whether someone makes a field goal or whether someone scores a touchdown or hits a home run, and actually your welfare, your well-being of your families depending on whether that home run is hit or that field goal is kicked, you're not enjoying sports. You're not enjoying it. It's controlling you, and it's causing stress and it's causing anxiety, which leads to all kinds of other problems. So I'm a big sports fan, and yet I'm seeing the dangers of how available this sports betting is, how addictive it's becoming, even with our young people. You know, I was just in a festival the other day, and with Sunday football was going on, and I saw a couple people, they weren't even watching the games. They were watching all the bets they had made on different outcomes of different, they weren't enjoying that. And they were stressed. I could see it. So I'm speaking, we don't want gambling, sports betting, anything like that to become an addiction, to become an enslavement, to take away from the freedom, the joy that should come with something that we would call meant for our enjoyment.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, any advice for the faithful on this?
Well, yes, I would definitely, be mindful of how quickly and easily gambling can take hold of us. And if you know yourself or anyone else who is struggling with this issue, there is plenty of help available, and not to be afraid to call upon that assistance. But stay vigilant, enjoy games and sports, allow them to be for that purpose, not anything to put you or your family at risk.
Bishop Burbidge, thank you so much for coming on and speaking about this. It's really important. We appreciate it. God bless you.
Thanks, Tracy. God bless.